In today's episode of the Pathway Presents podcast, I have an interesting guest here with me today. I'm with Vytautas Klova, and he's hailing over from the team at Cast AI. And to put it simple, they basically cut your cloud bill in half. So now we want to learn how they do that, how they help companies, which types of companies are benefiting the most, and obviously, since we're on the Pathway Presents show, how Vytautas is thinking about growth for the company. So welcome to the show.
Oh, excited to be here, and nice to meet you all.
Of course. So, give us maybe a 360 overview. What is Cast AI all about in your own words?
Okay, so as you mentioned, basically Cast AI is cloud cost optimization platform, which specializes in optimizing and helping you to fight against the cost on all major cloud vendors. So AWS, Azure, or Google Cloud. And our platform enables customers to run free savings report to get know where you are overspending. You could even make some changes by yourself, not subscribing to our platform. And we have some case studies that allowed let's say from savings report to save initially like 30%. But yeah, if you like what you're seeing, usually the savings are around 63%. Just start automation and our AI-based engine will make all the work for you. So basically it allows you not only to save a lot of money, but as well will allow your DevOps, who is spending a lot of time by managing those cloud manually, to get back to their primary work and to focus on developing new features to your product, your software, whatever.
That makes a whole lot of sense. Now, what would you say, which types of companies benefit the most? Like, what would you say is a typical organization where it really starts making sense to use something like Cast?
So basically, it could sound like ridiculous, but it's every company which is running on the cloud benefits from using Cast AI. So starting from the startup, for which, to be honest, we even have like special offer giving them free cloud optimization credits to enterprises. So as for example, one of the biggest, let's say, mobile affiliate networks, Branchio, so we are helping them to save $2 million. There are some small e-commerce stores like LaForge, just grocery store, they are saving like $4,000 per month. But let's keep in mind that usually your cloud cost budget is the line part and overall your cost line. So basically, especially at the moment when like there might be some recession due to the war going on in Ukraine and etc. And we already like maybe spotted some news from the Twitter, Slack, and other Netflix about layoffs in San Francisco Bay. So basically, cloud cost optimization and this management of those huge costs could allow you to save your employees, to save your profit margins, and like to compete in the market and to win this recession.
So a lot of sense. Now, what would you say? How to maybe put it different? Like, who in the company is typically the one that it says, we need something like Cast? Is that like a DevOps lead? Is that just coming from the grassroots within the DevOps teams? Maybe tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so that's very good question. We have been trying to figure out, let's say, for some period of time, and let's say the end user is of course a lead DevOps, lead engineer of the CDO, who is taking the decision which of the tool to use. But in general, ICP would be decision makers of the company who is responsible for the budget itself, for the cost. So it's from the CEO, CDO to, let's say, leading engineering roles. So of course, for the marketing, it's not so important, relevant, but sometimes it might be, and if you do care about your company, about the company's growth, so most likely, even in that way, you will share with your, engineering teams that guys, I have just been watching YouTube, CNN ads, and maybe we could check it out.
And what would you say, how do these folks learn about Cast? Like, what's the typical journey they go through? In other words, what are the client acquisition channels you guys leverage?
So basically, we are acquiring like inbound and outbound, let's say 50-50. We are very active on social, on organic, on we are attending in let's say in all most popular conferences like KubeCon, which is focused, of course, for DevOps and cloud native folks, like DevOps Pro Europe 2022. We are going to be there, as well as like more generic ones, the next web summit, AWS reInvent, and many others. So basically, I would say it's a mix, and we can't say that there's one channel. Yeah, so there are a lot of important channels. We are featured as well on all major media outlets like VentureBeat, the Register, Container Journal, which of course focuses more on, let's say, engineering faults or DevOps, but as well they're covering and more generic public, which are, let's say, most likely the readers are the executives or so, as well as we are featured on, like those industry reports like CBS Insights, Futurium. So it's a mix.
Very cool. What role do you think the website plays in the journey? Like, how do you as a growth marketer think about the website for Cast? Like, what role does it play?
Yeah, so the website is very important, and let's say overall, for the more complicated the product you are working on or you are providing for your potential users, so the more touches you need usually, and they will visit your website not once, not twice, most likely like 10 or 15 times. So the more attractive and the more easier the website to use, and the more capabilities we have to collect that data, that interactions. So your chances to close that lead, to convert it to the opportunity rises a lot.
Now, marketers that we typically have on the show, right? They're super critical with the website. And it's interesting. You mentioned the longer buying journey, right? People going through several touches on the page. What do you think is a major strength of the website versus where do you see room for improvement? Like, what is something where you think, yeah, the page is pretty strong versus, because every growth marketer always wants to improve it. Like, where do you see room for improvement?
That's the very good question. And on the other hand, it's, like, there's maybe no simple answer. So what is crucial, of course, is A/B testing, offering similar, like different versions and looking at, so basically, and splitting the traffic, because for some folks it might be, booking a demo more preferable than watching, and like versa. For some of them, they will watch, then book, and etc. And it depends even from the countries, and even, I'll take an example. So let's say one region might prefer one wording of the website versus another. So it's completely different terms. So A/B testing, having, let's say, dedicated landing pages for campaigns, for events, is crucial. And we are, let's say, yeah, we have redesigned our website already, I guess, like 3 or 4 times, and keep working on this. Following up your marketing metrics like conversion rates, CTRs, is crucial. And yeah.
Very cool. And one thing that came recently up on the show quite a bit, maybe I'm not sure if in your industry marketers are talking about it or not, but do you hear more marketers speaking about the cookieless future, and what's your take on that?
Yeah, it's a lot of marketers are talking about this, and because of policies which, let's say, reduces the capabilities to track, and yeah, like, so it was like 30 days now on some platforms, 7 and etc. So I guess we still will use them, but as in our case, multi-attribution tools are very important, and the need of them will raise, I guess. So there are already some very good tools, but I guess they'll come to the market, more of them. And yeah, I mean, of course, there are some workarounds, and I guess in the, let's say, in the long run, yeah, cookies will die, I guess, but there are other options like, you know, from GA, identical numbers, and then etc.
Very cool. I would like to switch gears a little bit and talk with you more about your journey as a marketer. I have some rapid fire questions to get to know your journey a little bit better. Are you ready for those?
Yep, let's go.
What is the last book you read or the last podcast you listened to?
The last book, it's yeah, it was like when we were setting up OKRs, and I just, you know, like it totally erased from my mind how this is called, but yeah, it's like, you know, the Bible of OKRs and how to plan to set it for the whole company. I could send you later the link. I will try to find it out.
There's a couple of them. Maybe Measure What Matters, for example, might be one of
them.
them.
Yeah, exactly. We'll measure what. Thanks for reminding me.
No worries. Okay, cool. What's one single thing that your company is focused on the most at the moment?
New leads.
Very simple.
So,
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you could go on.
If there would be no boundaries in technology, what's the one thing you would fix for your role today?
Oh, that's very, very good question. To be honest, everything works for me fine at the moment. And I mean, I'm not that kind of the person who is blaming that something is wrong. I'm just trying to get to the rules and, you know, or to find out the way how to play around them.
What's the last thing that kept you awake at night about the company?
The last thing, I guess, I was thinking all night long how to get on one not certain, let's say, largest in the market startups channel to get there. So yeah, that was crazy, you know, like thinking now out loud. But yeah, I'm happy that we almost done this yet already.
Nice. For the very last question, I would like to go to back to the days of ISM University, right? So you're heading out of your formal education into the world of business and marketing and growth. What's the one advice you would give yourself for your journey so far?
To be even more aggressive, I guess, in terms, of course, of marketing, not physically, and not to regret anything in your life what you have done.
Good that you clarified that. That's very important.
yeah, because nowadays this term could be very, you know, like understood wrongly.
Very good. Cool. Vytautas, I really appreciate you took the time with us to be a guest on Platform Presents. I want to give you the very last word. If somebody would be forgetting all that we discussed about Cast today, what's the one thing that they should remember?
Remember that you could keep growing and save really huge amount of money you are wasting now. 90% of the companies are overspending for their infrastructure. So just visit cast.ai and run that free savings report.
Thanks a lot for being a guest on Platform Presents.